You are now listening to Fan Night Radio at fannight.com.
Yo,
Yo, what's up with you, bro? How you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Living this Cali life. That's all.
Man, that's a good life, man. Years and years.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just appreciate you, man, coming on here. So, um,
Anytime, man. Anytime.
we gonna do the free smoke tour part two. So this part two, and after we do you, we're gonna try to get Matt on here just to round up the rest of the trio. So,
Okay, say no more.
so we me and Terry left off basically just bringing the origins of it. So you've played in a few games now.
Yeah,
Got
without a question.
got a W. First, I want to talk about the game with Dante. What was the mindset behind playing 6'8" Dante?
I kind of thought I was going to avoid that question, but with me, see, that game to me, it shouldn't have been a bind up in the tour, but it happened and it helped the tour. So, Tay is a brother to me. I play Dante one-on-one all the time. It's just sometimes it so happened that, the cameras was out this time. Like what happened, what was supposed to happen. If anything else would have happened, then, it would have been looked upon differently. But, it was what it was, man. I listen, you take your bumps and your bruises. This Baltimore, you get up and you live another day.
Absolutely right, man. You was definitely the sacrificial lamb for the free smoke tour on that
All
one.
right, Yeah, man. I told him, he hit me in my DM, said, "Yo, I want to play you on a free smoke tour." I said, "Well, Tay, I never duck no smoke. We've been friends for over 10 years, 10, 12 years, maybe even longer. So, it was what it was. It
Right,
was all in front. It was all in
right,
front. You know what I mean? Like, so you couldn't get mad about it.
right. And I really wanted to get you on mainly so you could talk about the Baltimore basketball fraternity. Me and Terry kind of touched on it, but we ain't really get to dive too deep
Man,
into it. And I feel like you kind of like the perfect guy to
right.
really
You know,
help bring that home.
um, basically, Baltimore fraternity is, it's different in Baltimore because, you might see a person in the street, in the neighborhood, or you might even see a person out and about, and you're just cool. But until you step on the floor with a person, you know, with a person make you a brother. Like a lot of these people that are brothers and my friends, they wasn't born into my family. Like that's my brother through basketball. Basketball is an overwhelming situation. When I grew up, and you was doing this and doing that. We had every origin of lane. We had the people that hustled, we had the people that worked. But if you were somebody that went to school every day and did the right thing and did what you were supposed to do, they in hooping, they was telling you, yo, look, man, like we gonna take care of you. Times Baltimore has changed tremendously and drastically to the point where we have to get back to the roots, and a lot of people don't want to get in line or into compliance of the old days. If Baltimore was like it was in the 2000s, man, Baltimore would be a much better place. But the people that are growing up in this city with no guidance, and basically that's what. There we go. Back at it, broski.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take little snippets from that last recording, but
All right.
yeah. So we was basically just talking about the Baltimore
Yeah,
basketball fraternity. And
yeah. The basketball is probably one of the only few things that really hold our city together with togetherness, because everybody wants to see basketball. Everybody wants to, and times are completely different, than when I was in school because, like we was a team that brought the city together from east to west. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the historical 0102 team. And most importantly, to Gerald, that's not here no more. But it was just a time that it's different, bro. Like, looking out and seeing certain things that these kids go through. I still live by the code and the creed of if you play basketball, man, you're one of these young kids up and coming. Man, I don't care if you need a ride, you need something to eat. That's just the way a person raised me. You feel me? So if we gotta like if we invest more time into these gyms, into putting behind these kids in Baltimore, then we will alleviate a lot of things. And I believe a lot of that went away when we lost a lot of rec centers. Like whoever becomes mayor, I believe all the rec centers should be brought back, because rec centers is what made the Carmelo Anthonys. It's what made the Will Bartons. It's what made the Rudy Gays. Cecil Kirk made Rudy. Mount Royal made Mello. Johnny Howard, Will Barton, and Josh Selby. All of them came through there as young kids. So it start with rec centers. In order to get it all back to where it used to be, we got to start from the root. And that right there, if you start from the root, then things will be able to grow and blossom better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the rec center part. Because I grew up around Park Heights and Cold Spring, but I ended up moving out to the county around like 01, 02. And that was around the time when the rec centers started shutting down, because it wasn't none in the county really. It was like one maybe.
No, right. Yeah, Enrico
It was.
Yeah, it might have been one or two out there, Enrico or something like that. But other than that, it
wasn't any. And I just remember saying how things, like you said, things started to change. And you spoke on Gerald, and one thing that shocks me, and that I say to myself a lot, is like, man, it don't seem like the athletes are protected anymore, because that used to be the thing. The athletes,
no way. Yeah, exactly. We were always protected, and even to this day, at 35 years old, I'm still protected by, a certain amount of degree of, oh, that's him, he played basketball, and to lose two pioneers this summer to violence, of the streets, both being my childhood friends. We both grew up around each other, and it kind of left a damper in me, and and I said the same thing you said. Athletes are not protected no more. It's like we living in this city right here with no morals, no principles, or not even, like it's a creed behind things, and everything that I do now, every focus that I have now, it's kind of in what would he like, all the way from the game until now, until everything that I ever do in my lifetime, it's going to be on what would he think, because that was somebody that was close to me. And I'm sure if he was here right now, I sat right there yesterday and told somebody, I said, yo, the best part about this is he gone, and look at all these people that's around here that came together. But he also is the one that's over top of us, making sure don't no stupidity happen in this good atmosphere. So he's still with us spiritually and emotionally, but physically, I just can't get up and I can't call him no more. I can't get up and touch him or play 5-on-5 with him no more like we did in his last days. But I can always get up and pray to him, and I can always get up to, tell him, yo, what's next? He's like the little angel that sit on my shoulder now.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think we all kind of like feel that way, because I didn't like. I'm not gonna sit up here and make it seem like, man, Gerald was super tight, but through the Brunson,
no, y'all built the relationship. Y'all built the rapport. Y'all was close. You was close. Basketball brought y'all together. So that was your brother, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be certain things like that. Yo, and you might see it, like I said, you might see a person on the street. You might be around a person. Y'all might have a conversation, this, that, and third. But once basketball becomes involved in it, then you're a brother. You're a brother. You feel what I'm saying? No way, shape, form, no fashion. And nobody could ever take that away. Baltimore, on the summertime, it's designed for, like Kyle said, it's designed for two things. You go to church at 9, 10, or 11, and then you at the Brunson. That's just what Sundays are designed for. I always heard Gerald say, yo, and Terry, I heard Gerald and Terry both say, yo, listen, I never knew, because I started living by it. Yo, Sundays, I tell, starting on one day from one Sunday to another Sunday, yo, the wife know on this day, y'all can get me Monday through Saturday. Come Sunday, let me have my time. You feel me? Like,
no, that's facts though, because
that's facts.
I used to my wife now, but she wasn't my wife then. But yeah, she would ask me, like, you have to go every Sunday. I'm like, yeah, I have to go. Like, it's,
yes.
It's
It's
a
a
must.
must. It's a
I
must.
have to be there. And it took
It's
her
a
a
must,
while to
yo.
understand, but after a while she was like, I ain't even gonna fight it no more. I'm like, you can't really fight it because
You can't
I
fight it.
have to go.
You can't
Like,
fight it. But it's mandatory. Like it's I'm going to church at 9:30. By 12, I'm there. I'm not leaving till 9. I'm here. But it's a good thing, man. Shout out to Sean Brunson too, man, because man, that's a beautiful movement, man. I'm glad that he allowed me, to help him this year and bring the mic into play. Hopefully next year we can keep the mic into play, and I got to critique some things on my end, and we can critique some things as a committee and go ahead and do what we got to do, man, and make the Brunson League really what it's going to be. Because next year, mark my word, 2020 will be the best summer of the Brunson League. It has been built up and built up for the last 3 years, and I believe that this is the year that it cracks all venues, it cracks all barriers. Hands down, the number one East Coast Summer League pro-am in the East Coast. We got the Drew over the West. I never disrespect them because I'm a Cali guy, so I would never disrespect the Drew. But after the Drew, the Atlanta pro-am, Miami pro-am, they all cool, but it take a different type of bully to come in Baltimore and be successful.
yeah, absolutely. I get a chance to go to the Drew. I go to the Drew every now and then, and it's
Right.
it's 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 the best pro-am because of the glitz and the glam that's there. They got great bad. Don't
That's
get me
it.
wrong though. They got hoopers. The ball players
Oh, yeah,
the
without a
ball players
question.
is there, but they don't have the atmosphere. And I
That's it. And that's it. That means everything. Yo, you can come down. We like an indoor
yeah,
rugby with
for real.
rules. You feel what I'm saying? Like with the sense when you got somebody bearing down on your back and coming at your neck. And listen, one thing about Baltimore, man, you gotta have tough skin. And I even let my anger get to me sometimes. I'll be a man in a minute because even though they words, you just be like, man, like, but it's all in the love of the game. It's all in the love. That's corner crew, the shit talkers, man. Listen, it's all in the love of the game, yo. And anybody that comes here, I done seen Gennaro. Was Gennaro Pargo? No, Jeremy. Which one of the Pargo brothers is the dark skinned one?
You talking about the
Jeremy.
Grant brothers? The Grant brothers.
No, the Pargo from this year.
Oh, he
Pargo
came.
that played in the Big Three. Yeah, he didn't
Oh,
play though,
okay.
but he was
I didn't
there.
know that.
He was there, yeah. And we sat down that night when we was at the party or whatever. And he was like, "Yo, that's a crazy atmosphere," and like a lot of people that stepped in there, said, "Yo, it's a crazy atmosphere." Like, yo, they like that. They want a part of that. That's what they love because it's bringing the outside indoors with referees and pro rules.
Hmm.
And not to mention, we got some of the best uniforms around, and they can only get better.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you this because you're a part of it now, and what do you think because me and Sean always go back and forth about this. At what point did it become where it's at right now? I say that summer when we was down at the UA house. You
BCC.
you think it's
No,
Beatrice? I
listen.
say the
No,
UA
listen. Hold on.
house.
Stop. I'm sorry. No, listen. I take that back. The UA house was the pitch. That was the pitch, and the BCC was the home run hit. Was the hit. And like now, it was like the home run hit. What I don't like about it's a lot of things that I don't like about it. I don't like the way how they're treating them when it comes to this league. How it's back and forth with trying to find a
Right.
venue and certain things. I believe anybody. I believe if you love Baltimore and you want to see this city do better, I challenge everybody. Yo, get that man a gym.
Right. I
Like
say it all the time.
get that. It shouldn't be a reason why it should be that because people in the city are seeing a young black man do a successful thing and they think in greed, and I don't respect that. And like I say, I take a lot of lashings because I say certain things people won't say. But I go on record to say, yo, I don't agree with it. My ideal place for the Brunson League, and I believe that the Brunson League would be magnitude, is to have it at Dunbar this year. And I'm going to fight to have it at Dunbar because I believe Dunbar is Baltimore basketball. I believe that when people do highlights, they should look at them banners from the Muggsies, the Sams, the Kurt Lees, the Michael Lloyds, the Dante Brightons, Keith Booth, Boosie Thornton, all them people that went up. That's what made us who we are today. Those people, those forefathers of the game, those people, Reggie Lewis, all of them, they made us. So I challenge Dunbar, I challenge Keith Booth, and we gonna sit down and talk when the time is right to make this thing work because I believe Dunbar should be the staple point for the Brunson League. It's no worries about it, nowhere to park. You don't have it's nowhere to park or it's this, that, and the third. No, it's all right there.
I've
Like that's what I believe.
Dunbar would be a dope spot.
Dunbar would be great. Dunbar, listen, you know me, I'm always thinking high, so I'm going for Dunbar, bro. I believe that it will be better. I believe 2020 summer will be arguably. I believe arguably. I think all the pros now not going to say have to come back, but with Will winning it back to back, Malcolm and Ted and Kill getting theirs, Kill getting MVP. Like, I believe everybody's going to play in it this year.
I wouldn't say that the pros have to come back, but I do think it's a certain.
No, I say should.
I think it's a certain obligation. I do feel like it is a certain obligation because for one, we don't have. We're trying to put this thing on that level of Atlanta. Like that's a difference between the Brunson and everybody else league. The Drew is in LA. The Atlanta Pro-Am is in LA. Miami Pro-Am is in Miami. Dykeman's in New York. They all in these places
Right.
where it's like I can go there and go to the league. The Brunson is in Baltimore. You only gonna come to Baltimore really to play in the Brunson. So, that's why I feel like as a pro, like especially if you're from here, you have to come at least show face. At least show face.
I challenge all my brothers that's in the pros. I challenge. I go on record to say this today. Like, I challenge all my brothers. Like Will. We know Will had nagging injuries this summer, and he was still bouncing back off a long summer. So that's.
But Will gave us enough, though.
Yeah,
he gave us enough.
But he gave us enough. But I will go on record to say this: Carmelo Anthony, Rudy Gay, y'all got to come play in the Brunson.
Right.
One time. I got Rudy word that say he gonna play, and I respect his word because your word is everything. Rudy say he gonna play, he gonna play. So like I challenge everybody. Like everybody, they say, why Stanton Kid didn't play, the last game of the season or whatever. The ink dried up. The man worked his whole life. The man worked his whole life to get to the NBA, and then he get there. I called him that morning. I said, shut it down. You don't owe nothing to the Brunson League. You just made your ultimate dream come true. So that's what he went on. So I challenge all our pros, Adams, Damon Lee, all the pros. If you from Baltimore and you from Baltimore, it's 8 games, 10 games. Just give me a game. All I want is a game. Just show the kids because these kids can't get to NBA arenas. These kids can't get and pay this money to go see unless the city is giving it back. Baltimore City spent over $2 million. If you go back and look, Baltimore City in the last couple years, they spent over $2 million in grant money taking these kids to NBA games. So give it to them for free because that $2 million can go back to something else, like rec centers. Like something for these kids. Like, just give them one summer, one Sunday. That's all I ask.
No, you right because and guys like Stan and Will always say like if they said today they not playing in the Brunson no more, they don't have to because they already they've given us enough. Like I personally believe the Brunson helped Stan and Will. I look at the Brunson for those guys. Yeah, like they built their game from the Brunson. Like they got better. Will got better playing in the Brunson. Stan got better playing in the Brunson.
Jamel Artis got better playing against Will Barton. Stanton Kid got better playing against Will Barton. Even though Will got the best of him, that's what he was supposed to do. At that time, when it comes to it could go all the way down to the economic platform. You're in the NBA, you're getting paid to do this. You're not supposed to let no one do this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a platform that you got to hold yourself accountable to. If I'm in an NBA on an NBA team, or I've been on an NBA team, it's no reason why I should come to Baltimore and lose to anybody. And that's just the mindset that I would have. But we know we are filled with a city for the dogs. We are. Anything can happen on any given day. But your mind frame should be nothing can stop me. You know,
And that that I think that's just it in a nutshell. The lead guy can't let other guys beat him.
yeah.
He can't.
Listen, so funny because yeah, it go back to let's take the Drew for instance. Frank Nitty, cool man, cool guy. I love Frank Nitty, big three, played with the killer threes with Lil Bro and all that. Frank Nitty, he's like a Terry Hosley to me because any big name he see, he wants to Kenji them. He wants to dethrone them. You know what I'm saying? So I respect Frank Nitty for that. Guess what it did? Got him to the big three. Got him a check. That man was working a regular job. He put it on. You know what I mean? He took that chip of I'm supposed to be in the NBA. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be there. And every NBA player he's seen, he did what he wanted to do. And I respect that. And we gotta go with that. Like all of them. Will, you come back to coach next year, that's all good to me. You come back to play,
Right.
it's all good to me. Malcolm, the same way. Malcolm got a chip now. He don't own the Brunson League nothing. I believe if you got hardware, you don't gotta come back. The purpose is to be the best of Baltimore. That's what the Brunson is about, to see who's the best at the end of the summer.
Yeah.
And that's why the free smoke tour is so special, because we go from a 5-on-5 aspect of bringing the city together to a 1-on-1 aspect and bringing everybody together outside. Free smoke tour don't got no security. We don't got Baltimore City Police sitting out there. We got a bunch of men and women and kids that respect the movement enough to come sit down and be as one for that moment. No gambling, no arguing, no fussing, no fighting. You might not like this person Monday through 8 a.m. to 5 in the evening. But when the free smoke tour come, you wouldn't even know if you and that person don't like each other, because y'all sitting there enjoying yourself watching the game. Basketball brings everybody together in this city.
It's definitely the equalizer. So going back to the free smoke tour, what do you think? Because I asked Terry what's the goal for it, and he just said, man, it's just to keep it going and keep the positive movement going, and just connecting, every neighborhood in the city. So what would you say? What's your opinion on that, or what's your version of it?
All three of us, we all have, our own input or insight on what we think, But to me, I think free smoke is basically the way to show the mayor, to show the police department, to show everybody, that we can be more for be more. Like, we can come together without the guns and the violence. We can come together and be as one and be in unity and be together when they say we divided. So so basically, it's just to stop the violence, man, to get one, to be one, to be as unity. It's just a movement that just needs to continue. Free smoke can mean a lot. Free smoke, no shooting guns. Free smoke, no violence, no gang violence. That's what free smoke is. It incorporates anything. It's unity. You know what I mean?
Well said, my brother. Well said. And just so, like, this is the last thing we're going to touch on. I want you really break down like your basketball real estate, because you done played with some guys, some legendary guys, like, and I've been seeing what coming down to the Goodman, seeing you down there. You didn't play with Alamo, a lot of the guys on the N1 tour, like.
Yeah.
Just talk your shit a little bit, man. Go ahead.
I really don't get into that, man. Half the people be like, man, well, what did Brandon do, or what did he do? Man, listen, man. I played arguably on one of the greatest teams to ever come from West Baltimore. in the 0102 Frederick Douglass team. Went to LA Harbor Community College, Bowie State, Lincoln University. I jumped off the pot playing with and one, White Chocolate, Baby Shaq. Shout out to Silk and all those who gave me my start with it. I played 9-10 years with them. I played in various ABA teams, got my feet wet with the water. Man, it's like everything basketball has put me in so many places and built me so many relationships in life. And it also saved my life. And I can sit here and say, like, I give everything I got and everything I own and everything that I'm going to have in the future. I give it to basketball because God blessed me with a talent. And, to train and coach one of the top AAU teams last year, because I didn't coach this year, but I coached last year. We lost an Elite Eight in Vegas with Team Thrill. To see all those kids going on to be successful in high school at their own respective places, with one of them being a high school national champion and Jarris Walker. It's basketball. When you say Brandon in Baltimore, they go, "Oh, Brandon at hoop." And that's just something that stuck with me because I was always told one time that if you take your basketball everywhere with you, your basketball will take you everywhere. And I lived by that, and I did that. And I was fortunate by the time I was 30 to see more places than people have seen. That's 40, 50, and 60. So it's a gift and a blessing. And I hope I can, give it back to my sons and my daughters and, my nephews and everybody that looked up to me as a basketball icon. Goodman League, champion in Goodman League, multiple All-Star, Dykeman, Kingdom, Rucker Park. Anywhere the ball bounced, I was there. And I give all the credit and due to White Chocolate with that, man, because I owe a lot of my success to one of the greatest shooters and one of the greatest players to ever play the game, because he seen something in me and he put me beside him. And most importantly, Ali Mo, because Ali Mo taught me a lot, with that being my roommate for so many years. Ali Mo used to tell me, when you leave this earth, what is your last impression? What do you want them to think of you? And that's how I always thought, man. Al taught me so much. And also rest in peace to one of the great ones, my best friend, Silent Assassin. He was also one that just really he grind. If he'd have just waited a few more seconds, his time was coming. And that was an unfortunate situation. And losing all those people, Ali Mo, Silent, Gerald, Terrence, to see it all coming together now, it's like every morning I wake up, I give my prayers to them, man. Because and Flash too. Rest in peace to Flash. That's 5 people. Escalade, 6 people. That I legitimately knew that some people looked at as stars, but I knew these people as a brother. You know what I mean? And it hurts me, but it builds me up and it makes me better, and it allows me to tell my son these things or tell my son why he should do this or why he should do that. And when he don't want to go to a basketball game, you gotta go. And unfortunately, one day it'll snap, and he'll like the game just as much as I did.
Word, man, word. So, we're gonna wrap up, man. Any last words? Tell the people where they can find you. Just your final thoughts.
Man, you can find me on Instagram at Coach B the Chef. Basically, let's just be more for be more, man. Let's stop the violence. Let's all come together, man. 250 homicides this year, over 600 shootings, man. I think we got to do better by that. I pray to God for our next mayor. If you're gonna vote, support it. Brandon Scott, Jack Young, Carl Michael Kennedy, whoever your pick is, man. Let's all get together, man, and let's just make Baltimore a better place because we are Baltimore.
Perfect, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate you, man. Like I told Terry, man, I'm gonna do my part. Even though I'm all the way over here, I know y'all was missing me this summer in the Brunson South.
Yeah, man. Can't wait till you come home, baby.
So,
can't wait till you come home, baby.
Yeah,
See you
so
this
I'm
summer,
gonna do
baby.
my part, man. But appreciate you, yo. So I'm gonna have this up in no time.
All right, man. Love and
All right,
blessings,
bro.
bro. Love and blessings.